to see you again all. I hope you all will be fine. And for all of you, I pray that God fulfill your all dreams and give you lots of happiness. And my dear friends, every time I try my best to give you all latest news. Therefore, you are requested to sit tight on your seats and enjoy the latest news. Thanks, take care.
A group of 88 Iraqi lawmakers submitted a draft law on Saturday to expel foreign forces, including all U.S. troops, from the country. The move comes amid a surge in tensions between Iraqi armed groups and the U.S.-led coalition, which has been in Iraq since the 2003 invasion. We, the members of the Iraqi parliament, are submitting a draft law to expel foreign forces from Iraq, said Lawmaker Falih al-Khazali at a press conference. This is a result of the continued violations of Iraqi sovereignty by U.S. forces, which have repeatedly targeted the headquarters of the Popular Mobilization Forces (PMF) and its leaders. Al-Khazali said that the draft law is necessary because Iraq no longer needs foreign troops. We have a strong military and security forces that can defend the country, he said. And Iraq's Prime Minister Mohammed Shia al-Sudani will join more than 60 heads of state and government and hundreds of business leaders as they gather in Switzerland to discuss the biggest global challenges during the World Economic Forum's annual gathering next week. A government source told Shafaq news agency that al-Sudani will be heading to the Swiss tourist destination to participate in the activities of the event that begins on January 15. The likes of U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken, Chinese Premier Li Qiang, EU Commission President Ursula von der Leyen, French President Emmanuel Macron, UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres and many others will descend on the alpine ski resort town of Davos on January 15–19, organizers said Tuesday. Attendees have their work cut out for them with two major wars, the Israel-Hamas conflict and Russia's invasion of Ukraine, plus problems like climate change, major disruptions to trade in the Red Sea, a weak global economy and misinformation powered by rapidly advancing artificial intelligence in a major election year. Trust has eroded on peace and security, with global cooperation down since 2016 and plummeting since 2020, Forum President Borge Brend said at a briefing. In Davos, we will make sure that we bring together the right people to see how can we also end this very challenging world, look at opportunities to cooperate, he said. Brend noted that there are fears about escalation of the conflict in Gaza and that key stakeholders, including the prime ministers of Qatar, Lebanon and Jordan as well as Herzog, were coming to Davos to look how to avoid a further deterioration and also what is next, because we also have to inject some silver linings. Zelensky will give an address next week during the event, while more than 70 national security advisors from around the world will gather in Davos on Sunday to discuss ways forward on Zelensky's peace plan, Brent said. It's the fourth such meeting, but Russian officials have never participated. Major figures, including U.S. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan, new Argentina President Javier Milei, OpenAI CEO Sam Altman, Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella, will discuss big ideas in hundreds of public sessions and speeches or in other talks surrounding the event. There's also more secretive backroom deal-making in the upscale hotels along Davos Promenade, near the conference center that hosts the gathering. How much all these discussions will result in big announcements is uncertain. The World Economic Forum's glitzy event has drawn criticism for being a place where high-profile figures talk about big ideas but make little headway on finding solutions to the world's biggest challenges. It's also been criticized for hosting wealthy executives who sometimes fly in on emissions-spewing corporate jets. And Minister of Finance, Taif Sami Mohammed, chaired an expanded meeting with representatives of the international company Ernst & Young, which specializes in auditing and financial consulting, to determine an action plan and initiate steps to merge and organize a number of the ministry's institutions and restructure them in line with the objectives of the ministry's financial and banking sector reform policy. According to a statement by the ministry, the meeting discussed the draft submitted by Ernst & Young relating to the organization and restructuring of the Rafidain and Rashid banks and the merger of the national and Iraqi insurance companies, and discussed the proposed plan and implementation stages, and determined the frameworks of the contract and drafted them in a way that suits the priorities of reform and development, as well as discussing the study submitted by before the company, diagnosing the obstacles to transformation, and providing financial and legal solutions and treatments that ensure the integrity of the merger and structuring process. The Minister of Finance explained, the ministry has a program to restructure government banks and is working on it in cooperation with the Central Bank of Iraq and the relevant international organizations, adding that the process of merging, structuring, and introducing modern financial technologies will push towards making Iraqi banks acceptable internationally and locally and providing services to the government financial system and individuals. At the same time, determining the roles of the banks and subcommittees, and determining contract durations. Sami added, the ministry's vision includes a comprehensive review and evaluation of the work of banks, and carrying out structural administrative reforms, which include providing a package of integrated banking services to citizens and companies and making them more consistent with the national economy that supports achieving sustainable economic development. The Minister of Finance stressed the necessity of benefiting from the expertise of reputable international companies, which can play an effective and essential role due to their expertise and consultations in charting the correct path for the projects implemented by the ministry in accordance with its financial policy that conforms to international standards and specifications. Thanks, take care.